she's performing there. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by performing? And she said, well, you remember when your sister used to sing around the house and everything? She says, well, she's a singer. She's really a singer, and she's performing with James Brown. And he was just like, oh my God, he could not believe it.
I step out on faith and I gave my notice. And I'm crying, y'all, because I gave my heart and my soul on that job. Because that was my passion. And sometimes our passion is really not our calling. It's just a passion.
When they say when it rains, it pours. It poured, but I didn't realize that the pour was on purpose. The pour was actually moving stuff out the way, moving people out of my path that didn't belong in my circle anymore.
Yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. And he looked at me, he was like, this little girl, how old is she?
He said, this little girl can sing. Look,
This little girl can sing.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another amazing day of Success Leaves Clues. I'm your girl, Minister Nikita Davis, here, the CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And you are tuned into another dynamic episode of Success Leaves Clues. I'm so excited. I've got one of my amazing queens, glow getters of faith, that's moving and shaking. We don't work together on some projects, produce some amazing things, and the best is yet to come. I'm talking about none other than Tenesa Mobley, 2-time best-selling author, just dropped a book, just sold out of books, ordering more, and just doing some amazing things in the kingdom of God. But don't hear it from me. I want you to hear it from her. Tenesa, welcome to the show.
Hey, Queen, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored now that we have you here. Congrats on all your successes and wins that God has blessed you with.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And the best is yet to come. I hadn't even got my feet wet yet.
They ain't even wet. They still dry. You know, they got a little piece. You know how to get damp. They get moist, but they not even wet yet. Love it, Queen. That's right. So tell the beautiful women all over the world, because this is international, as they're either watching this live or they're catching you on the replay. But tell them about you, what you've got going on. Just tell them a little bit more about you and how they can get to know you.
Well, first of all, my name is Tenesa Mobley. I'm from a small town called Glean County, Alabama. Population is about 5,000 to 6,000. But I currently live in Gwinnett County, Georgia. I'm a phlebotomist, slash lab coordinator, slash lab tech. So been in the medical field for 20 years. Been writing all my life, I can honestly say that. From school projects to poetry. So writing is a passion of mine. 2-time best-selling author, thanks to Miss Nikita. I wouldn't have never imagined that God would bring me here. I'm also doing my nonprofit, which is The Power of You, which is the title of my book, The Power of You. So that's my brand. That is my entire brand, because I believe that the power lies within you. And you just have to tap into it and grab it and excel it and go full speed.
Love it, Queen. Love it, love it, love it. And you got a sweet little glam baby too. A little cutie pie.
I do. My grandbaby, Osiris, that's my heart. I love him. It's a different love. I tell people that it is a different love from your child to your grandchild. I have one son, Jalen. That's my heart. That's my
yes.
My everything, and I'm so proud of him. So, and he's proud of me.
I love it. So you can inspire each other. I love that. I love that. And I'm just saying this, y'all, because I done seen this cute little grandbaby and just melts my heart. I can just sit and watch. I done seen, at the doctor's office and cooing and coo. And, I'm like, you know what? Let me, because people try to put that on you. They try to put that on you. And I'm like, look, I can watch from Instagram, right? But so congratulations again to you and just your family and the success and all of that. So Queen, just really want to take time to peel back the onion because this is all about success leaves clues. And I felt it was important to have this series with just some audaciously bold women, glow getters of faith that are moving and shaking. And that's why I had no choice but to have you on here because I know that's what you do and what you represent. Talk to me about some of the obstacles, some of the struggles that you've had to overcome. But I want to talk specifically about 2020. I know there's many throughout your life, but 2020 hits a little bit different for 99%, 100% of everybody. So can you talk about some of those obstacles maybe that you were facing, but more importantly, what got you through them so that you could be at this place right now?
So when the pandemic hit, of course, medical field, and I'm a contractor. So my money came based off the patients, the number of patients that I saw. So of course, when the pandemic hit, I went from doing 60 to 80 patients a day to, a pay period, which is every 2 weeks, to 10 a pay period. So that was a
Wow.
huge drop in my income. And given the fact that I got a child in school, in college that I'm supporting, and then got this new grandbaby. So, of course, I panicked just a little bit. But then at the end of the day, God spoke to me and he said, I got you. Psalms 23rd played in my mind. The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. So with that, I have not want. All of my needs been met. And I can honestly say that it gave me time to really focus on me, to focus on my writing, and to also focus on my nonprofit. So I can honestly say I'm coming out of this pandemic better than I went in.
Come on, Queen. Come on, Queen. And that's what real queens do, and really women of faith, which again, we have a worldwide audience and believers in Christ. And if they're not, prayerfully, after this series, they will want to draw nearer, right? But you said some critical things that I love. You said, after you panic, so that's the human part, right? We're all human. I don't care how big, bold your faith is. For just a second, even if it's just a nanosecond, you was like, what in the world? Myself included, right? But you said, you were able to focus. I heard the word focus come out of your mouth. You were able to get back to what you really, God put in your heart in your youth, which was writing, right? You always had did that, but he gave you time now to focus around those writing efforts. And obviously it paid off because you became a 2-time best-selling author within a matter of months in the same year during the pandemic because you focused. And like you said, you were able to focus on Psalms 23 because he is our shepherd and we shall not want, right? And so those are some key takeaways to success, right? That if these women are listening, and I pray that they are, and they're picking that up, then that's going to help carry them through. So talk to me and the viewers just a little bit about, so you talked about how you were able to make that transition and you knew God was going to take care of you. What does that mean for what's next for you? So after you've seen, and I'm sure you've seen him move mountains before in your life, right? We've been breathing long enough. We've seen that. What does that mean to you in regards to the way you look at what's next? So as we finish up 2020, a few months left, right? And then as we propel into 2021, how does your thought process shift? How has your thought process strengthened as to what you're getting ready to do next?
Well, I can honestly say, trust God. And I'm trusting in his direction. And he's leading me. This book has given me a platform to open up other doors to help others and bless others in the way that he has blessed me. Meaning I'm going to do my nonprofit. So my nonprofit is going to be building TR homes. It's TR homes, tiny homes, a whole community for homeless vets and homeless moms. And it's going to be a 2-year program. So with that program, I'm going to provide jobs. I'm going to do credit counseling. so that they'll be productive citizens when they're done. And they'll know what to do, the ins and outs. I'm also doing a nonprofit in Alabama for prison reform for women. And it's going to be along the same guidelines. So I just want to be a blessing to others because he has surely blessed me. And that's what we're all here for, to be a blessing to others.
Absolutely, Queen. You are absolutely right. Talk to us a little bit more about the nonprofit effort. So I love that, taking care of the women who may be incarcerated back in your hometown, right? Giving back there. And then also helping the veterans and those who are without shelter. Why are those two things the big rocks for you as in regards to what God has placed in your heart? Why those two things?
Okay, well, the thing with the homeless veterans, my dad was a veteran, my uncle was a veteran, and my brother is a veteran. My uncle, what really touched me was the fact that when my uncle was sick, my uncle died from colon cancer. However, he was in the military. He served many years in the military. And let's just say Uncle Sam did not take care of him. What happened, what really touched me, I'll never forget, I was downtown 2016, going to buy some shoes at the Underground. And this man walked up to me and he said to me, he said, "I will wash your windows for a cup of water." And I said, "You don't have to do that." So I went in the Underground, got him something to eat, came back out and started having a conversation. And I just wanted to know, how did he end up in this place? Because no one grows up and say, "I want to be home." So he told me he was in the military and he had just enlisted. He was a young man. He was about 24, 25 years old. He told me he had just enlisted. Well, when he enlisted, he did a tour of duty. He was over in Afghanistan, and he was over there a couple of months, and he was in a roadside bomb. Needless to say, he was shipped back here, and he was at the Shepherd Center. So he was released. He went to his wife. He married his high school girlfriend. She couldn't deal with the PTSD and the other issues he had going on. So, of course, quick divorce, that left him home. The government only had given him, at that time, he was only getting about $700 a month. So if you don't have a home to go to, you can't get benefits. And that just did something to me. The fact that he risked his life to protect and serve us, and now he's out here home. So that really spoke to my heart. The thing with the prison in Alabama, my son's grandmother, she was an addiction, functioning addict for 25 years. And when she was released, thank God, she had somewhere to go to. But it's so many other women that doesn't have a place to go to when they get released. So they end up repeating the cycle. And it's too many women out here, good women. We don't know their story. We don't know what happened to them again. No one grows up and say, "I want to be an addict." No one grows up and say, "I want to, go to jail." No one grows up and say, "I want to repeat a cycle of destructive behavior." So that was placed in my heart to do that as well. To at least give our women a chance and to give just people a chance.
I love it, Queen. I love it. I'm hearing you to say that, and I have another queen actually that's a part of this whole thing, this whole process, this whole series. And she does a platform called Your Story Matters. And definitely I will get you all in connection because that's what I hear you to say. Instead of just giving that man water and tell him have a blessed day, you gave him more, you gave him something that really money can't buy, because many times, unfortunately, people want to put the sore spots or the blind spots or the things we don't want to see to the side. We want to either quickly shuffle it, give me your water and get going, because I want to help you, but I don't really want to be seen with you, and to take that time to get his story. And then as you stated, Queen's coming out of prison, they have a story to tell too. Everybody has a story to tell. And I hear you to say that not only do you want to draw that out, but you want to help put them on a path to recovery, put them on a path to where they can have a brighter future. I love that. I love that. I love that, Queen. So I already know it's going to soar. I already know you are connecting, moving and shaking and making it pop, and you are going to bless some folks. Have your own community and village that you are blessing and empowering them and just getting them on the right path in their life. So I think that is so beautiful. Talk to me about, I'm going into 2021, but talk to me about, so you've got the best-selling books, you've got the nonprofit that's kicking off. Talk to me about where Tenesa, in Jesus' name we declared and decree it. Where is Tenesa going in 2021? Where are you going and who are you taking with you?
In 2021, again, I have to keep going back to my nonprofit because that's my heart, that's my passion, that's my faith. And I'm taking my family with me. Again, like I said, my nonprofit I'm going to provide jobs of under. So my brothers, I'm the only girl in the family. So my brothers, they're very talented. One of them, he does like living space and design, where he do tiles, flooring. He's a beach stack. So I'm going to create, a business with that to employ the veterans. I cook myself. I also cook. I love to cook. That's my thing.
Okay, Queen. But okay, go ahead. We'll let you finish.
People know me for my cooking, and my son can cook too, so he gets that from his mom. So
okay,
I'm gonna do a food truck that's going to employ the veterans, the homeless veterans, and the mothers. And that's going to be ran by myself and my son. And we plan to expand it into a restaurant. Yes. So I'm also going to do a lawn care service, which is going to be ran by my other brother. And I also want to do a storefront. And in the storefront, of course, I'm going to sell my merchandise, which is the power of you. So right now I'm looking at, I'm working with somebody to do customized masks, customized leggings. So that's where I plan to be in 2020. 2020, like I said, I just want to be in a position where I'm able to bless others as God has continued to bless me. He's continuing to bless me. So I just want to be a blessing to others.
That's so good, Queen. I love that. And it's obvious you wear your heart on your sleeve. That's just who God created you to be. Sometimes people don't realize, they'll pour out with the why is me. Why I have to go through this? Why I have to see this? Why mama this? Why daddy this? And what they don't realize being a believer in Christ is that he's wanting to use that to help you bless other people, because it's never about you. It's always greater. And so I love that you're doing that. And you said something else key to me, especially being a minister and just of the Christian faith. You want to be in position is what you said. You want to be in position so that you can bless other people. And I feel like people forget that piece, right? So Queens, if you're listening, it's not always about getting the blessing and the pouring. Yes, that's going to come. But the key is you got to be in position. And in order to be in position, you've got to level up in some areas. So I'm hoping you picking up these clues that this queen is dropping on you, because she took the time, right? Where some folks were in isolation and woe is me when I'm getting back to work, or why my business. She took that time, focused it back to the dreams from her youth, which was writing. God launched and flourished that up into the right. Then she also began the process and the paperwork for her nonprofit, because in her heart was to serve who? The veterans and the women that are incarcerated, right? To give them a better life. And with all of this, the power of you and what she's got going on, got merchandise going to pop off, talking about food trucks and just lawn care services. I hear employment for other people, right? The vets and the women who just were recently released, right? And others as well. But you got to get in position. I feel like sometimes as Christians or those who are followers in Christ, it's like they shun away from money, like money is evil. Money is not evil. It's about your intent. It's a resource and it's a tool that is necessary if you're wanting to make a real and a valuable impact in the earth that we live in. If you have a heart to serve and to give back and to feed the homeless and all of these things, guess what? It costs. those things cost. It's not free. Yes, you've got grants, but guess what? That's money. That money has to come from somewhere. So for me, for them, for you, huge takeaway, queens, is that you got to get in position. And what this queen has done, and I have seen it with my eyes this year, is get herself in position, not only to win for herself, which God is doing exceedingly and abundantly more, but he's getting her in a position to bless the world. Right. And so I love that, queen. I just one of those people, I like to pull back. I hear the story and I just go straight to it, honey. That's what I did in corporate for so many. They had me to find the pain points or to find that. I'm like, whoop, let me pull it out and make it plain. And so I love that. So how can people stay connected with you? What's the best route? If they say, love what you're doing, I want to support any way that I can, whether financially, whether indeed, or physically coming down to Georgia or whatever, what's the best route for them to get in contact with you to say, hey, I want to help, I want to support, I want to buy a book, I want to buy your merchandise, I just want to be a resource? How can they do that with you?
Well, right now, we're building my website, so thank God for that. So got someone reached out to me and offered to do that, so thank God for that. But in the meantime, I'm on Facebook, Tenesa Mobley. I'm on Instagram at Miss Mobley 1. Also, I have the Power of You page on Instagram. Yes, and email trmobley, that's TRMOBLEY 2918 @gmail.com.
Okay, fantastic. Excuse me. And don't worry, queens, if you didn't get to write that down, below when you're looking at this, you're going to have that information as well. So you can definitely reach out to her, slide in the DM, email her. Don't stalk her, but reach out to her and be of assistance, because you know the real blessing is to be a blessing. And Tenesa, you are definitely doing that. If you could give one final clue. So when you think over like the old folks used to say, when you think back over your life and you think things over, what would be the top 2 to 3, or just one? What would be the top that you would give in regards to these queens catching a clue to their greater, still in 2020, because 2020 is not canceled, and as they propel and get ready for 2021, give them that tip or tips.
Well, number one, don't look at every setback or mistake as a failure. That's your time to elevate and excel. Most importantly, you have to trust God. I don't care when that rain comes, can't see the sunshine when you're going through the storm, but just know through that storm it's going to be a rainbow and that sun is going to shine. So trust him. 3, don't give up, because you never know. Your story may not be exactly for you, but motivation for somebody else to move forward.
Beautiful, queen. I love it. And I'm going to just add this little flavor to it. I know when we spoke about your individual book, and this is clues, this queen was able to go back. She had already written her book. Understand what I'm saying? Book basically already written. She didn't even realize it. It was just a matter of us coming together and helping drill down what she already had available to her. So see how God, he makes streams in the wasteland. He's already equipped you with everything that you need. So when it came time to produce this best-selling book, which was a #1 bestseller, okay, so you got it's levels to this, and she was #1. So that means all the books in her category, she was #1, right? And so she already had it available because she was already doing it. I heard somebody say, and I don't know who originally coined this phrase, but guess what? If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so this queen was already ready. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I want to encourage you in this moment with whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, whether it's a book, you want to scale your speaker platform, your business, your nonprofit, whatever it is, the gifts that God put inside of you before you were even in your mother's womb. Understand me? You already have been equipped. It's just a matter of strategizing and how you're going to get it out to the earth. But you already got it. You already have what it takes. And I'm so glad, Tenesa, that you are a shining example of being just a glow-getter and such a positive and beautiful spirit. I mean, I just love connecting with you, whether it's in text, email, DM. The sun shines through your communications, right? You know, you ever read somebody's stuff and it's like, man, they always sad, they always mad. You can read it through the communication, right? But on the flip side, and I don't normally have those kind, honey, because I can't roll with you too long on that because you can't bring me down. I'm just sorry. I love you though. I pray for you though. But have that positive spirit, and you have that, and I love that. Well, Queen, I know our time has wrapped up here. You have been amazing. I know you got books popping off. I know you got nonprofits popping off. I know that you can cook, and I need a plate sent to me. We'll talk about that. We'll work that thing out. And, you know, you just got a beautiful family that's so supportive. Just tell them you recently had your book signing. Tell them a little bit about that before we get out of here, and just that experience of having your first book signing, the actual event, and having people show you love.
Yes, so Greene County, Alabama. Again, I always represent where I'm from.
Come on, represent your town.
My town, small town. So I am the first published author, best-selling author to come out of the county. I held the very first book signing in the county, and it was absolutely amazing. I had Mary Leck. I had to post it for me. I had city council people, like everybody just came out and showed me so much love. I had 100 books on sale with me. I had 100 books. When all 100 got sold out, and I just did another big order, so I'm going back and I'm going to do a quote unquote drive-through book signing because
come on, drive-through, just drop them off. They just come out the sky on a drone. You know they do that now. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a drive-through book signing at my mom's house, because even those that purchase their book on Amazon, they're still asking, how can I get it signed? How can I get it signed? They want their book signed. So I'm gonna go back home, sign some more books, but I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. And again, at the end of the day, you know, I have to give God the glory in this. I have to, because He's put me in a position. He's leveling me up to be a blessing to somebody else. Like I tell anybody, when I first started writing, I didn't do this for publication. I didn't do this to be known, anything. I did this strictly for self-healing. I did it for self-healing because I was in a bad place in my life and I didn't want to be there. And I knew writing has always been a passion of mine. It gives me peace. So, but He provided something for me. He's given me a storefront. He's putting me in a position, you know, where my writing is going to help me to be a blessing to others. And I'm grateful for it.
My God, that is so good. When you get back to the basics, I had another queen say that, and it just reminded me, even in the corporate world, when things would get crazy, we're like, okay, we need to get back to the basics. Well, guess what? Sometimes we need to take a pause, and that's what COVID-19 did. You had no choice but to pause. I don't care who you were, you had to take a pause for a second. And it just made you say to yourself, let me get back to basics. And like you said, writing was always there for you, because that was a gift, that was the tool, that was the stream in the wasteland that God had available for you. Same thing for me. I mean, same concept of my book. When I really peel the onion back and think of Jesus Coffee and Prayer and the brand and the empire that God is building and using me to do that, it started off literally, I have the notebook. It was love notes to Jesus. I'm a poet at heart and have always loved poetry. And even when I was in grade school, like when it was in English, we were in English and it came to the poetry time of the section in the class, she knew. She would call me, Nikita, do you have something for the class? I stepped right up because I ain't never been shy. I don't know if y'all could tell that, but never been shy. So I stepped up and I would read my poetry. So when I peeled the onion back, that was always with me. And it really was. I had a book where I was writing love notes, poetry to Jesus. And that morphed into me writing some more and then getting to a place where I was like, man, this was awesome. When I read back over it myself, I wonder if this would help somebody else. And it just went from there. Now, I always knew I wanted to be an author, but that was not why it got started. It was just me doing what He called me to do, being who He called me to be. And then boom, same thing for you. Healing, trusting God. Now, boom, here you are. I mean, so if you ain't heard, if you're not picking up these clues, Queen, go back to your childhood. Think about the thing that you love to do, that you were good at before the world told you you couldn't or you ain't or whatever they lied to you about. Go back to that, trust God, and then get to work. And that's the clue that this queen is living out. And I'm a living witness to that. So I pray that you are blessed. Tenesa, thank you so much, Queen, for taking time out of your busy schedule and all the books and the fans and everybody trying to get books and all this, So I know, your time is of value. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Anything else you would like to add, love, before we close it out?
Just be the best you. Be the best you, and know that the power lives within you. Power of you.
Yes, the power of you. Two-time best-selling author Tenesa in the house from the Alabama area. They got about 5,000 people up in there. Mayor, everybody showing out. It has absolutely been a pleasure. Y'all, this is so good. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the next episode of Success Leaves Clues. This is your girl, Minister Nikita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. May God bless you and keep you into the next appointed time. Besides, success leaves clues. Have a blessed one. Bye, you all.